Hey, welcome to Grill and Smoke BBQ. I'm Jeffrey. Today, we're going to be making some pulled pork, and we're going to be using the Char-Griller Gravity 980, the Good Charcoal Company's lump charcoal, which I am now an ambassador for, and it's a great company. They also get out and they feed the needy, so you can't go wrong supporting companies that will do that. And we'll also be using the MeatStick X to keep up with the temperature and also the temperature inside the grill, which also I'm now an ambassador for them as well. But the only thing we can do right now is get to the cook. So let's do it. All right, so as I said, we're gonna do this cook. What I'm gonna use is my base rub. It's gonna be this Meat Church honey hog rub. And I'm gonna come over the top of that with this Heath Rouse honey chipotle rub. So you can use a binder if you want to, like mustard or Dove sauce or even just water. But for me today, the pork butt has a little bit of moisture left on it, so I won't need to use a binder. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on there. So let's get to doing that part. And as you see, the fat cap on here, it's not too bad. So I mean, it's not a competition cook, it's just backyard. So I'm gonna leave it as it is. And we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use that to help protect the meat during the cook. Cause I'll be cooking this at 250 until it gets to the point where I'm gonna wrap it. And then I'm gonna bump the temperature up to 300. You wanna make sure you get it all over, including on the sides. It's a big piece of meat, so you can be happy with the rub when you put it on there. And I'm gonna come with that Heath Rouse honey chipotle. We're gonna let this sit for maybe 30 minutes to an hour. And during that time, we're gonna get the char-griller up to 250 degrees. And like I said, once I get it to the point where I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it, then I'm gonna bump the temperature up to 300. But for right now, 250. Let me check the smoker. All right, we got the grill up to 250. Let's go ahead and get this pork butt on here. We're gonna place the thickest part towards the source of the heat. And as I said, we're gonna use the meat stick, which is right here. You put it in all the way to the tip. There's a little thermometer here that's gonna measure the inside of the meat. And this tip gives you the temp for the ambient tip of the grill. All right, I'm gonna check back on it in an hour. All right, it's been an hour. I'm gonna take a look at it. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Still got some moisture on it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let this go for another hour, and then I'll probably think about spritzing it. And when I spritz it, I'm gonna use a mixture of apple juice and apple cider vinegar. And check on it in another hour. All right, this has been on for 2 hours. See, it's got a nice color that's forming. There's a little dry here, still moist there, but we're gonna go ahead and spritz it with this apple cider vinegar, apple juice mixture. And I'm gonna let it keep going. I'm gonna check back on it in another 2 hours. All right, it's been another 2 hours for a total of 4 hours. Let's take a look at it. Okay, it's looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and give it another spritz. And we're gonna go another 2 hours. All right, it's been a total of 6 hours. And it is looking great. I'm gonna go ahead and spritz it. And it's sitting at about 153 degrees. When it gets to 165, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it. All right, welcome back. So we hit the stall at 163 degrees. So I took it off, I put it in an aluminum pan, and this is where we're at right now. I also took some of that spritz I was using, that apple juice and apple cider vinegar, and I put it in the pan with it, just a little bit to get it to braise down in there. And we're gonna put a couple of other items on here that I'm about to show you right now. So what I wanna do is I wanna put some brown sugar on there. So doesn't have to be too much, but just get it on there. Then on top of that, I'm gonna put a little bit of my favorite type of butter, some squeezed butter. Give it a come out. There we go. Then we're just gonna go back over it with a little bit more of the rub that we used. And all we're gonna do now is wrap it up. Get it on there good and tight. Then we're gonna go ahead and get this meat probe back in there. Don't want to poke a hole through there. Now, we're just gonna get it back on the smoker at 300 degrees. We're gonna probably get it up to about 203 to finish it off to make sure it's good and tender. So, it's going back on the smoker. All right, so we're back. We're gonna finish this up. I had it on the smoker at 300 degrees while it was covered in the aluminum pan with the foil on top. It reached an internal temp of 203 degrees. I took it off. I let it rest for about an hour and a half. And right now I'm about to pull it. So let's go ahead and get to that part. All right, so you see what we have right here. Have the bone here. We can just go on and take this off. And as always, you know, the bone tells you if you did a good job, if it'll come cleanly. So, I mean, it's pretty clean, but we don't need the bone. So, we're just gonna go ahead. You can take a look, see how tender that is, just comes apart. Now you got this little tube right here, comes apart as well, barely tugging at it. And then you can just dig into it, pull it apart. See how easy it is? It's just as tender, I can feel it. It just seeps right through as I squeeze on it. Just no pressure really needed. It just comes right apart. And of course, you know, that little piece with the crust on it, it's gonna be the good eating that bark. Here's the actual piece of that money muscle. And you just pull that. See how it just came apart? I'm gonna go ahead, finish pulling this apart. I'm gonna make some sandwiches out of it. I'm gonna bring you back for that part. All right, so I have it pulled now, and I've made sandwiches. But what I wanted to let y'all know, when I pull my pork, what I usually use is this separator. And what that does, it allows the bad stuff to float to the top and all that good juice to go to the bottom. So when it's in the pan, I let it out, I put a little apple cider vinegar in it, and I added a little bit of this Blues Hog Tennessee Red to it. So as you can see with the sandwiches, right here, I used the Blues Hog Tennessee Red, and right here, I used the tried and true Sweet Baby Ray's. I used the honey barbecue sauce from them on that one. But what I want to do, I want to try that Tennessee Red. So let's go ahead and give this a taste. Let's see how well we did. That meat, so tender, it literally like melts in your mouth. That Tennessee Red, the Tennessee Red is good too. I don't need to try the Sweet Baby Ray's. I know what Sweet Baby Ray's is like. I'll tell you that, that's a win right there. Well, we at the end of this, so thank you for joining me today. If you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and think about clicking that subscribe button, ringing that bell, so you can be notified when I do future cooks. And give me that thumbs up as well. I really appreciate it. It'll really help the channel. Subs, thumbs, and ringing the bell. That's all I need, and it costs you absolutely nothing. But appreciate you being here. Come back anytime. Feel free to check out any of my previous videos. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.